Hello everyone, welcome back to the Poppy Library. My name is Liz and we are getting ready for Woolen Folk and Rhinebeck weekend, which is this weekend. So let's get started on talking about all the fun things we're gonna do, shall we? I think so. I am so excited. I'm officially excited. My little away notice is on my email. Sorry, my chair was right there. So I am packing and getting ready. I have an early flight. I will be at both festivals this year. I know there are lots of little mini festivals going on like Cake Palooza and I think Indian Tangled also happens this weekend. I could be wrong. But I'm excited about these particular festivals. I went last year. It was absolutely such a wonderful experience. I'm excited for this year. And I just wanted to hop on and do like a little part 2 of how to get ready and how to prepare just a little bit more in depth to hopefully help those that are going for the first time. Maybe you're traveling in from a different state. Maybe you're a little nervous and you don't know what to expect or how to prepare. And so I'm hoping you can take away a little something from my experience, from also being a perspective of like events, production, planner, person. Yes, because that's my specialty, right? So as I'm getting ready, the first thing, we can kick it off with packing because honestly, that is the top of my mind because I haven't done it yet because I'm procrastinating. So bad, so bad. The first thing I want to talk about is packing these guys right here, these sweaters. So last year I made the mistake and I packed too many sweaters. These suckers are big, okay? They take up so much space in your suitcase. The last video I talked about was making some space in your suitcase for purchases if you can't ship your items. Depending on what I buy, I might just put it in my suitcase or I might ship it. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have time to go to like a FedEx or something and ship everything back home. So I am preparing to put it in my suitcase. So I will only be bringing one sweater a day. Going for like 3 days, one sweater a day. That's all it takes. Really, a sweater a day. I promise. You're not gonna like, if anything, you will take off the sweater with a t-shirt under it to just be a little cool. So don't overpack your sweaters. But if you want to, sure, you know, all the power to you. I did notice in both the Catskills and at New York Sheep and Wool, which is in Rhinebeck, New York. In the Catskills, it's where Woolen Folk is. New York Sheep and Wool is in Rhinebeck, New York. We're going to have some rainy days. I think both have like 70% chance of rain throughout the day. There are spaces where you can go indoors at each festival. However, I would prepare to be outside in the rain, so packing your rain jacket, that's always a very easy thing to protect yourself from the weather, a small umbrella, and also shoes that you don't mind getting muddy or wet in. So boots. I will be bringing my boots, and yeah, just be prepared to be in the elements and be okay with it. That's why we have wool sweaters. Am I right? That's right. That's right. Another thing that I think about when packing for this festival is my knitting projects. So thinking about something smaller for the festival time. I will be chatting with people, getting to know people. I don't want to carry around a big project with me. I did bring a sweater last year and that was so cumbersome. Just like a big project bag. I was bothered by it all. So I'm just going to bring like a small little fanny pack, put like a sock project in there and call it a day. I might start a shawl. That's easy to carry with me, just the starts of a shawl. And I find that to be easy. Most of the time I was just chatting with people. If I did knit, I sat and knit for a little bit, but something where I can just do a knit stitch or a purl stitch and I don't have to count. That's my main focus of like the project that I will bring to the festival. I will be bringing a sweater project for the plane because I'm not talking to anybody. Hopefully not. I don't like to do that. And I will just bring a sweater project for the plane, which will be my second ranunculus that I'm still working on. And that'll keep me busy for the few hours that I am on that plane. And then it is off to the festival knitting part. So again, just something simple. Don't need to bring anything crazy. Just remember kind of what you're going for. Are you going to talk to people? Are you just going to sit and knit? Also remember that it is loud, so any kind of ear protection, any kind of like earbuds that you want to bring if loud spaces make you nervous, or if you can't count while it's loud, just don't bring a project where you need to count and remember your stitches. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Packing for the festival. I won't go into the nitty-gritty of all the things that I'm packing, but I will say packing comfy shoes that can get wet, clothes that you can get rained on in. Rain jacket is super important. I'm looking at my notes. Always remember that you could most likely, I believe at Wool and Folk you can as well, but I do know at New York Sheep and Wool you can leave the site and come back. So know that you can put stuff in the trunk of your car. Don't be putting it in your front seat inside. Trunk of the car. Trunk of the car, people. You can always drop off items if it gets too heavy. Also, I bring some plastic bags and like a fanny pack just in case like I get a paper bag and it's rainy and I'm walking out of the festival grounds and stuff like that and I'm getting rained on and I just don't want the items to get wet. Also, just one thing to note, since there are a lot of lines, so you might be standing in line outside either to get into the festival or you might be in line to get food or anything like that. And if it's outside, you will get rained on. I cannot stress enough, like just prepare to just wait outside and make sure that your shoes are comfy and all that stuff. Simple stuff that our moms teach us, right? Parents, somebody teaches us sometime in life. Okay. Third thing is to prepare for germs. You guys, we're going to be around people that have been around people that have been around people. If COVID is a concern, which it should be, wear a mask. I will be masking on the plane. I don't want to catch COVID or I don't have time. I don't have time. Like in my real life and at this, I want to enjoy the festival. I do not want to catch COVID and ruin someone else's experience. So mask up, please, when you're around and like just preparing and getting to the festival, especially on the plane. Oh God, so many germs, so many germs. I bring extra masks, some hand sanitizer because, you know, bathrooms, there will be comfort stations and all this stuff. Comfort stations are like glorified porta potties that are nicer. So people are sharing like germs and everything. So just bring some extra hand sanitizer. I also bring extra COVID tests. I test when I get off the plane into the room before I go to each festival, just to make sure that I'm keeping everyone safe from me. If I do like have COVID, like I will stay. I won't go. I just won't go. I'll reschedule everything. Last thing I want to do is get somebody sick with COVID. And then I pack maybe some tiny like Tylenol medicine just in case I do feel a little bug coming on or something. But masks are really important. The last thing I do bring is like these little earbuds. I do get nervous in like very loud places. Not crowds, but like if it's really intense, loud sounds, I will have to put some earbuds in to just kind of muffle that sound, and it makes me feel more relaxed. So bring some earbuds if that is the case for you. Yeah, those are like logistic stuff. Now let's get to the fun stuff, like the buying, the shopping, all of that stuff. My technique for this entire festival for this year is I have picked out certain projects that I want certain quantities of yarn or I will be looking at spinning wheels or electric spinners or anything like that pertaining to spinning yarn. So I have certain items that are a certain price point plus certain quantities of yarn that are a certain price point. That's where I started. Going to the vendors and checking out the vendors is second. So seeing which vendors I'm interested in, also considering I might buy from like one or two that I'm not considering. And then I go into like, okay, pure budget mode. What can I afford? And also, is it reasonable with what I'm looking at? I do all that on the plane. I've written it all down. I've just taken some small notes here and there. Wool and Folk did a really great job of showcasing all vendors on their Instagram. So you can scroll through their Instagram and see who is going to be there. And also, you know, what they provide. They're really great at tagging everybody. So you can just go to that person's Instagram page, see what kind of services or products they provide. And if something catches your eye, write it down. It's going to help you a lot when you're actually buying. I would still suggest, you know, walking around the festival grounds, still getting to see all the vendors. Maybe they weren't on your list, or maybe you change your mind, but at least it kind of gives you a better idea of how to experience the festival. If you're not like budget conscious or anything like that, I mean, go do whatever you want. But if you are budget conscious, I would highly recommend doing your research that way to help you narrow down your choices and kind of what you want and need and what you really don't need. And be okay with it. Kind of helps your brain kind of section off things when you're looking at a lot of really pretty stuff. So another thing to think about when you're on site is there will be food on site for both festivals. So just bring your cash. I always bring cash with me just in case they don't take credit card for food. Usually everybody does take credit card, but always have a little bit of cash on you to feed yourself for at least 2 Hobbit-sized meals. At least I do. I mean, it's fun. Last year I got oysters at Wool and Folk, and they had somebody serving lobster rolls. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to eat the crap out of that. Like, I don't get that here. I mean, I do get that here, but it's not as nice. I mean, it is nice, but also, like, it's just better when it's fresh and it's up there. So anyway, and same thing at New York Sheep and Wool Festival. They have, like, a kind of festival ground kind of food, so like hot dogs, hamburgers, they had nachos, there was also like falafels and like just delicious, like really good festival food. Like, you've been standing all day, I need some nourishment kind of food. What else? There's beverages on site, so you don't need to worry about doing that unless you want to bring water. I think everybody allows bringing water on site. Yeah, food. The next thing I want to talk about is agenda. So maybe you book some classes, maybe you might book some last minute classes at New York Sheep and Wool on Saturday and Sunday, or at Wool and Folk you want to check out what they call the podcaster studio, I think is what it's called, where essentially I'm looking at my computer to see if that's what it was called, but a few podcasters will be just interviewed throughout the day at Wool and Folk, and there will be a designated area on site where they will do that. And what I would do is I would just remember those times. I would put them in my phone, having a little alarm that would go off maybe 15 minutes beforehand. And I would be shopping and walking around talking to people. And then 15 minutes beforehand, I would just go to the podcaster studio and get my seat and wait for those folks to come out. It was really fun last year. I met the grocery girls, who were the ladies that taught me how to knit online during like all the COVID mess, and I think it was a year prior to COVID. Like, they taught me how to knit, so I got to meet them and hear them talk. And then they had special guests with like Gigi and Lola. I'm sorry, from Adela with Lola Bean yarn, and it was just hilarious, so fun. And there's just, everyone was just the sweetest people. I would it was so fun. I would recommend going to that, seeing people that talk about yarn all day. And anyway, it was just great. So I know that I think Adela and her husband are going to be on the podcaster studio this year. Podcaster's Patio. Yes? I'm going to look it up. I keep talking a whole bunch of talk like I know what I'm talking about. It's called the Podcaster's Patio. TL Yarn Crafts is going to be there. Cabin Boy Knits, Jackie Rose, Miss Jackie and Amy and Adela and Jimmy are going to be there, and I'm gonna go to all of those. I'm gonna go to freaking all of those. Those people are so nice. Of course I want to hear them talk. Anyway, plan out your agenda. I could go on about them. Let's spend this whole time talking about Podcaster's Patio. And then lastly, it is like a PSA. It's a PSA for any kind of festival, because people put so much work into these festivals. They really do. It's a whole bunch of volunteers. Vendors have prepared for this. The people that are organizing the festival have tried to think of every single scenario of things that could go wrong. They've tried their best. Cut them some slack. Please be patient. It's hard to think of every single thing that could go wrong. It's hard to think of everything that you think should be there. So I would say the best experience can come out of only a good attitude, a good positive attitude. You're going to wait in lines. It's going to rain. It's not their fault. You're going to have to wait for food, and it might take a while because, you know, maybe that person is just a little overwhelmed and this is their first festival and like we are just demanding foods from them like beasts. Just, it's okay. You will get food. You will get your yarn. Be prepared for some yarns to sell out. And you know what? Good for that vendor. Good for that vendor if they sold out on that yarn. Just be like, I wish I would have gotten it, but you know what? Good for you. I'm proud. Like, good on you. So just, again, be patient, be kind. And if you're not, I will most likely hear gossip about it because I hear everything. Last year, I stood behind a lady who was just not having the best experience with her roommates at her Airbnb. And she was just telling everybody about how Jennifer just didn't bring what she needed to the potluck. And, you know, F Jennifer. And I just love that kind of stuff. So it's entertaining to me, but also just be nice. Don't entertain me with that kind of stuff. I grew up on soap operas. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, I'm so excited to see all of you at the festival. If you want to see more like festival things, and I feel like I will be better on my phone, so follow me on Instagram at @thepoppylibrary. And I will try to do a video filming my experience there, but I try not to put my camera in people's faces. It makes them uncomfortable, or if I see that they're uncomfortable, I'll just, I'm sorry. But I will definitely try my best to kind of show the experience while I'm there. But I also want to enjoy it, so I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. But I definitely will recap when I get home. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you're not joining the festival, that's totally okay. That's why all of these folks video and talk about it, so that they're sharing it with you, and you're technically there with them too. So you don't have to be present, but you're there in spirit. And just knit all weekend. That's really we're knitting all weekend, guys. We're knitting all weekend. So I'm so excited to see all of you. We'll see you soon. And I might see you on the hill if it's not raining too bad. Yeah. Also, if you don't know what the hill is, it's like this it's a little hill at Rhinebeck with a whole bunch, there's trees and everything, and like all the knitters, you can't miss it. You walk around, you will find it. Anyway, I look forward to keeping you guys posted, and I'll see you at the festival. And if not, I will keep you posted with all the videos and recaps and stuff afterwards. Until then, bye!